Steve Flint. I'm editor of Railway Modeller magazine. That's the UK's #1 best-selling model railway magazine, and it has been around for 70 years.
Now, I've read that there is continued interest in model railways. Why do you think that is?
Well, the thing about railway modelling is it's a wonderfully creative hobby. It's about making things yourself and feeling fulfilled with the results. It's also a little bit about storytelling. If you look around a model railway show, you'll find people telling the history of particular places, or even they can do fun layouts where they're telling a fantasy story, like on the TV show, that sort of thing. And it's a little bit about role-playing as well, because people can act as the driver of the train or the signalman or whatever. So it's an all-encompassing hobby that you can do without too much investment. Admittedly, if you want to build a really big layout, you have to join a club because they've got all the space. But it's quite possible to build a layout at home in your back bedroom or your garden shed.
Now, there have been one or two well-known people who've admitted to building model railways, such as Rod Stewart, who had a lot of publicity last year. What kind of effect has that had in model railways in general?
Been really positive that Sir Rod Stewart, and earlier in the year we had Jules Holland. They both approached Railway Modeller and we published their stories. Jules in particular, we went to his house to see his big model railway in the back room, whereas Sir Rod Stewart, his layout is in Los Angeles, and unfortunately we couldn't see it in person for obvious reasons. We couldn't afford the transatlantic flight. However, Sir Rod was really welcoming in his English home, and we had a good chat for over an hour, and he told us all about his love of railways from a very young age. And the people, celebrities like that who come out of the closet, as it were, and demonstrate their passion for model railways, just helps to give this hobby a little bit more gravitas. It shows that we're actually quite sensible people, from all walks of life, and we just love the creativity and the fulfilment that it gives.
Younger people, do they get involved in model railways, do you think?
Well, this is the old question that's always been with us. Now, when I got started, I was a tender age of 14. I dare tell you how many years ago that was. And a lot of my school friends at the time were interested too. And we all grew up with the hobby. We've all grown old together almost. And even then, there was a lot of elderly people, mostly men, of course. But as the years have gone by, the generations have come through. But what's different now is that there is a lot more to attract the attention of younger people. Digital technology, video games, all this sort of thing. So we have a harder job to encourage youngsters to take up the hobby. But once they do, once they understand it and get a grip for it, and they get the satisfaction from creating something themselves, not just playing on a TV screen, then the bug bites, and hopefully they might go off to university, get married, have children, but when it comes to middle age, when all that's out the way, they gravitate back to the hobby. So yes, there are a lot of elderly people in the hobby, but it's a hobby for all.
Now, I came across an organisation in southwest London last year called the Engine Shed, which basically dealt with people or children or youngsters with autism, and how autism and railways were linked, this thing about collecting things, and they organise these events where they have huge, great big Brio layouts, and that gets kids involved in a way as well.
Yes, it certainly does, and of course in this day and age we are concerned as a society about the mental health of people, and by taking part in these kind of activities and taking an interest, it gives the individuals, it gives me, it gives everybody who does it a kind of a sense of purpose and a joy, because it's not just about building the layout, it's about researching the history, it's about visiting heritage railways and learning all about them, even wandering along old canal towpaths and disused railways. So it's enlightening about our surroundings, our history and our culture. So all these things link together such that our mental health can be sustained in a positive way.
The TV show, how did that come about?
Well, the TV show came about because the production company, which was called Knickerbocker Glory TV, approached my employers, Pico and Pico Publications, with an idea about actually doing a TV challenge to build model railways. Anyway, eventually the producer got talking to me, and we had a long talk about how it could be done, and they came up with a formula. Channel 5 agreed to broadcast it, and away we went. And it was quite remarkable because there was concern amongst, shall we call them, the purist railway modellers, that it would somehow denigrate the hobby, trivialise it. But what it did was show what an entertaining activity the hobby can be, and people who generally weren't interested in model making and railways were interested in the TV programme, and it spread the word of this wonderful, fulfilling hobby far and wide. And although it didn't knock Strictly Come Dancing off the number one spot, it did have an effect, and model shop owners saw more footfall through their doors, and exhibitions such as the one here at Alton saw increased visitors piling in through the doors to look at the hobby. And indeed, today this show at Alton is extremely busy, and it's wonderful to see such interest.
And talking about the exhibition here at Alton, what do you think of the quality of the exhibits?
Well, the quality of exhibits is very, very good. There's some exquisite modelling from the truly fine-scale, authentic activity of, recreating the locomotive just as it was in 1911, right through to other layouts where there's perhaps a little bit more fun involved.
Well, you're going to be awarding the prize for the best exhibit in a minute, so we shall wait to see who is the winner. Steve Flint, thank you for talking to us.
Steve Flint is going to award the Pico Publications trophy for the best layout in the show.
It's my pleasure to say that, having looked at all these fantastic exhibits, my number one here goes to Abingdon and District Railway Club for Leicester Belgrave Road. This is one of the classic exhibition showstoppers in my view. So congratulations, Abingdon and District Railway Modellers for Leicester Belgrave Road.
I'm Paul Joel, I'm the Group Secretary for Alton Model Railway Group.
How successful do you think this year's exhibition has been?
It seems to be quite successful. We've had higher than normal numbers for on the Saturday already, and hopefully we'll have good numbers tomorrow on the Sunday as well.
Why do you think you got higher numbers than perhaps previous years?
I think we've done a bit better with advertising this year, and I think things like the Great Model Railway Challenge on TV has kind of got people more interested in the hobby, and people paying more attention to it, I think. So.
Speaking to Steve Flint from the Railway Modeller earlier, he was saying about how the Model Railway Challenge has broadened the appeal, so obviously you've noticed that difference here this year.
Yeah, we have. There seems to be, we've got a lot of the older, more established modelers and the hobby people, but we seem to be getting quite a lot of young people, younger people and families, and he's hopefully interested in, seems to be quite enthusiastic, so it's been quite good.
If I wanted to join the Alton Model Railway Group, what do you offer me? What can you offer me? And do I need to have any special skills?
Definitely no special skills. We've got, at the moment, we've got about 16 to 18 members, and we model in a variety of railway gauges. So we've got, the club has a 00 section that's currently refurbishing a model of Wells in Somerset. We've got a reasonably active American section who've got, the club's got our own HO layout that we're working on, and we take to exhibitions. And we've got a working O gauge layout at the moment as well, which is in the process of being built. In terms of what we offer, we've got lots of members who've been modelling for quite a long time, so we've got a range of knowledge in the club. So if you need to know how to do something or are getting started and want to learn various skills and stuff, we've got plenty of people who can show you how to do things.
And can young people get involved in the club?
Currently, we don't have any. We don't allow members under 18, purely from a logistical point of view. But we do. We try and encourage people at the exhibition. Kids get in for free, and we have done for the last 5 years to try and push the hobby and promote things. I mean, if you kids that are interested are welcome to come along as long as they're with a parent or guardian.
Thank you very much for talking to us.